welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here today at the Honor Roll Memorial behind me off of School Street in just outside of Tansman Park. And we're here to celebrate the release of the Woodbridge, A History of Woodbridge's First Responders, done by the Historic Preservation Commission. I'm just emceeing today and letting all these people who have worked on this project for so long speak. But I just have to tell you, this is such an amazing product that they put out, and the work they did to summarize all the people in Woodbridge history who had a role in our fire, first aid, police, you name it. It's just an amazing, amazing piece of work. I'd like to first call up the chairperson of the Historic Preservation Commission to introduce everybody and to have some introductory remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, Dolores Joffrey.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to each of you for this long-awaited launch of the Volume 12 brochure of the Historic Preservation Commission, at which time we are honoring our everyday heroes, a history of Woodbridge's first responders. And this is what your brochure is looking like, which you will be receiving today. My name is Dolores Joffrey, as Mayor McCormick said, and I am the chairperson of the Woodbridge Township Historic Preservation Commission. With us today are many of our commissioners who worked very hard to get us to this point. Wendy Rottweiler, Ashley, where is Ashley? Over there. Bruce Christensen, here. There. Frank Pelsman, Kathy Keating, Brenda Velasco, Courtney Lowry, John Landy, and Miguel Martin. Many of these first responder groups have been serving our township for over 100 years, beginning as volunteers and continuing to today as both volunteers and paid staff. We're so very proud of each of you and what you do to keep our communities safe. What began as one group serving the whole township has grown to groups who represent all parts of our township, except for our great police force that covers all of Woodbridge Township. Congratulations to each of you as you continue to protect and serve our township. Volume 12 is dedicated to you who are serving now, those who have served before, and those who have lost their lives serving our township. As a matter of fact, every year the Historic Preservation Commission has an essay contest for our 7th grade students. Each of the middle schools, as well as the 2 parochial schools in our township, are invited to submit an essay based on a question that we develop. And this year we will be developing our question on the first responders. May you continue to serve our community well and be safe as you answer all our calls for help each day. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And it gives me great pleasure now to introduce Wendy. Wendy is the backbone of this brochure. She has worked on this research and dotted every I and crossed every T and met with many of you who gave her valuable information in producing this brochure. So Wendy?
Good afternoon. As many of you may know, the Woodbridge Township Historic Preservation Commission has been working on producing tour brochures about various aspects of our history and different sections of our town for the past 13 years. And as we covered different sections of our town, we did often highlight the fire departments or the first aid squads, but not all. And we realized, actually, I was just discussing with Chief Golden a couple of years ago, he sent the commission an email asking about whether the Woodbridge Fire Department could get a historic plaque in front of their building. And we realized that while we had produced brochures of Woodbridge proper, we had never written up the history of the Woodbridge Fire Department. And then that also extended to the police department and some of the other organizations in town. And we recognized what a vital part of our community our first responders are. Really, from, these organizations have been in existence, many of them for over 100 years, but their roots go back to the very beginning of Woodbridge's settlement. And we wanted to be able to trace that history, to draw a line between the volunteers in our colonial and revolutionary eras and the 19th century and the growth of our township, which was the impetus for the growth of many of these organizations. So in our discussions of the history of the police department, we also traced some of the discussion of the history of the constable and sheriff service that we had that was county-wide before Woodbridge recognized that they needed their own local force in 1895. We discussed some of the major disasters and fires in the township, which created the formation of the Woodbridge Fire Department. And we've also wanted to emphasize not just the formal mutual aid agreements between everyone, all the departments, but even pre-existing that have really brought the first responder groups across the township together to always work in aid of our township. So I want to recognize the deep history, as Dolores said. Thank you for all your continuing service. The volunteerism and the career first responders in our township are integral to the success and safety and really our backbones of our community. So with that, I'd like to invite representatives of each of the departments up. You're welcome to say a few words if you like. If not, you're welcome to just go over to the tent where a representative from the commission will give you a packet of brochures that you can bring back to your departments. Please know that if you or when you need more, just let us know and we'll send them your way. All our tour brochures are available throughout the township at the Barron Arts Center, all the libraries in the township, the community center, or by request if you message us on one of our social media platforms or email us. The commission's website is woodbridgehistory.com. And now before we introduce, I'd like the township historian, Brenda Velasco, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. Mostly everybody has mentioned what I was going to say. However, as historian, Woodbridge has, and first responders in Woodbridge have been an integral part to make this such a great township. I know because, yeah, I am old, I am an historian. However, I moved to this township from a city where it was a little different. You didn't have the volunteerism that you had in Woodbridge when I first moved here. And this civic spirit, this civic mindedness was critical to the success of Woodbridge. The concept of law enforcement goes back to our colonial heritage, as Wendy said. Our constables, yes, they were given police power in 1669, maybe to bring back some stray cows. Quite different. But today we have a police force of over 200 men and women that is fully accredited, that have to meet 435 standards. They know what police power is and how to enforce it. The fact that we went from a rural economy to an industrial economy in the 19th century, problems arose. Citizens met. They didn't rely on the government, no knock on our mayor, but they met and came up with the independent fire districts. Later, we didn't have a hospital. People met, citizens met, and came up with the ambulance and rescue squads. Democracy in action. Sometimes there were bumps along the way. But every Woodbridge resident in all of the 10 towns is able to secure police enforcement or a fire or first aid on a 24/7 basis. So applaud to all the men and women who have made Woodbridge such a special place. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Woodbridge Police Department.
Over there and take a picture of each one.
Well, let me say, I think we've come a long way from picking up stray cats, although we still do it sometimes. But I'd like to extend on behalf of the police department our appreciation for all the time and effort that you put in for this pamphlet. I know that that's evidenced by the amount of detail that was put into it. In addition, as everybody knows, it's trying times for law enforcement. So it's an absolute pleasure to attend an event with so much support for first responders. So again, thank you.
Woodbridge Fire Department.
Good morning. I'd like to thank the Mayor and Brenda, Dolores, and all her commissioners for putting this information together. For Fire District Number 1, I'd like to recognize our Board of Fire Commissioners, Commissioner Todd Howell, who's the department historian, and International Association of Firefighter President David Hines, who also contributed to the information. On behalf of the fire department, I'm glad to see that someone's telling our story. Usually people only call us in times of emergency, and it's nice to participate in something as pleasurable as this. Thank you very much.
Woodbridge Township Ambulance and Rescue Squad.
On behalf of the Woodbridge Township Ambulance and Rescue Squad, on behalf of the Woodbridge Township Ambulance and Rescue Squad, I want to thank the Commission for their work in putting the brochure together, but also to all the other agencies that help us do our job. Their cooperation is vital. Thank you.
Avenel Fire Company, District 5. Okay. Well,
I don't do speeches. Thank you.
Colonia Fire Department, District 12. Ford's Fire Company, District 7. Hope Lawn Fire Volunteer Fire Company, District 8. Buttons on the side.
On behalf of Hope One Engine Company, I'd like to thank you for inviting us here today. It's a great moment to get this award from us, and thank you.
Island Volunteer Fire Company, District 9.
I'm good.
Okay.
It's going to be 90 degrees today.
Island Chemical Hook and Ladder Company, District 11. Protection Fire Company Number 1, District 4, Caseby. Port Reading Fire Company, District 2. Avenel Colonia First Aid Squad. Colonia First Aid Squad. Port Reading First Aid Squad. Thank you again, and I'm going to turn it over to Dolores for closing remarks.
I just wanted to mention that if you want more brochures, we have plenty over at the table, so please go over and the commissioners will help you. And as Wendy said, they're all over the township as well. So if you need any, please call us at the Barron Arts Center, and we certainly will get them to you as quickly as we can. The other thing I did want to tell you, and some of you have already been involved in this, is that we are trying very hard to put a marker on every piece of property for the first responders. Where is it? You can't hear me. Can you? My back is to you. We've done some already, and you know who you are because we've been in touch. and we will be in touch with the rest of you so that each of our first responder group locations will have a marker, we hope, before the end of this next year. Okay? We only have so much money in the budget, but we're doing our best to get all the work. Thank you again so much for your service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dolores. I also want to recognize Frank and Audrey LaPenta, who are on their way here. They are so much responsible for the chronicling of the history of Woodbridge through their roles in the various different organizations for the past probably 60 years. So I want to just recognize Frank and Audrey. They're on their way here. Another quick pitch for our History Museum, which is just right at the end of this road here on Green Street, 86 Green Street. It's a house that we bought and completely restored on the outside. It looks absolutely beautiful, and the work is being done now on the inside. It's a lot of work to make the building handicapped accessible and publicly accessible, so there's a lot being done, but we hope to have that finished later this year. And I want to thank everybody up here, Wendy and Dolores and Brenda, for their work in making sure we accomplish that. So thank you everybody for watching. If we could, I'd like to get all the first aid, police, and fire in a group picture, and then I'd like to get the commission in a group picture, because this event didn't happen unless it's posted on the mayor's Facebook page. Then it becomes official. So, what? You want to say anything? No, Frank? You good?
We're a little out of breath from getting here.
All right, no problem. Yeah, we're thrilled that you're here. We're absolutely thrilled that you made it. So, we're good. Thank you all for watching, folks.